What's up everyone, and welcome back to another video. So I'm just wanting to do a quick update video because it's been ages since I've done one, but I have been doing a fair bit of work on the Chevy. So as you know, we had some trans issues with that. Got the trans rebuilt, had a few issues, then got it rebuilt again, and now it seems, touch wood, that everything is sweet. I'm taking it for a few drives. I took it over to Thames and back, which is just under an hour or so, hour each way. And it was sweet, shifted nice, and everything feels nice and solid in the gearbox. It actually, I wonder if the trans was actually a bit slippy before, because the truck feels way more peppy than it did. Like as soon as you touch the gas now, it's wanting to go. Obviously the fresh trans will help with that, but it's just a huge difference. So I'm pretty stoked with that. But we did have issues with the brake lights. The brake lights were super intermittent, like pretty much hardly ever working, which they were sweet before I pulled it all apart. And it ended up being the micro switch up under the dash. Just pretty much take half the dash apart, got that out, and it was just a couple of the contactors inside the switch. So just repositioned them, got them all working sweet. While I was there, had the dash apart, so just banged a new head unit in it. Still had the head unit from Japan, because this truck went America, Japan, Japan here. So other than that, I've just been looking at doing new steering stops, because I actually had a bit of a dodgy whoopsie moment where I pulled out the driveway, and because it's been rubbing on the guards, it hasn't been going to full lock. It must have been the angle I was on, it went to full lock, and the steering stop, which was here, actually came round and knocked the fitting loose, the brake fitting loose. It didn't damage the fitting, like it literally just turned it enough to loosen the copper washers, and pretty much lost my brakes as soon as I left the driveway. So swung it around, just used the handbrake, came back in. So what I'm gonna do is pretty much, I've just ground these rivets off. I'm just gonna make a new version that sits a bit lower, because with these lift spindles, the pad for them to sit to is actually down here. So what I need to do is just make a bracket that bolts up to here, comes down, and I'll just have it adjustable with a thread and a bolt through there. Just use a high tensile bolt, and then I can adjust the steering lock. So just got to do that on both sides, and I might also look at getting the front springs lengthened a bit more. When I went to the lift spindles, I took a bit off of the springs, cut the springs down a little bit, but not too happy with how far I went. I think I went a little bit too far, just with the way it sits and the rubbing on the guards and everything, and it actually sits slightly lower than the rear still, which I'm not too happy about. So probably going to pull them out and get them lengthened, the arches. They can stretch the core springs out. That's where I got those springs made, down in Rotorua. So there's actually not too much more of that. Probably going to have to do some sort of over fenders, because these wheels do stick out just a little bit, which is a bit of a pain, but it is what it is. I'm just stoked that the truck is actually working sweet mechanically, like it feels solid, everything's working and driving as it should. So I'm pretty much going to weigh up my email arches on Monday, suss out when I can get those springs down there, get that done, start getting ready to take it for its cert, I think. Pretty much getting down to all the niggly little bits, so that's definitely good. And as for the E30, that's just collecting dust at the moment, but as you guys would have seen in the last video, we're turning around measuring the ports and stuff. So I'm just waiting to order a new bearing and a set of water seals, and then I can start putting that motor back together too, so hopefully that won't be too far away. Might actually look at ordering those parts this week, see how we go for money. But other than that, that's about it really. Just been trying to focus on all the little things in the Chev. Been mounting up my hubcaps finally too. Just gave it a bit of a tidy up too, because there was cables and wires and stuff from people tutoring hanging out under the dash. So pretty happy with how everything's turning out. Just need to get on some road trips with it now. So just checking out this quick update, guys, and hopefully it won't be long till we get back into some action.